Konbanwa, Cheerios desu. Good evening, everyone. I have just returned from Osaka. I was in Osaka for 2 days visiting my friend. We visited USJ and USJ. We didn't really do much. I commuted to Osaka via Shinkansen from Yokohama, which took me 2 hours and 15 minutes and cost me $150, which I knew prior to departure. I was okay with that. When I got to Osaka, I told my friend, and she told me back, "You're an idiot." Why am I an idiot? You can actually travel from Tokyo to Osaka and vice versa for the very low cost of $87, and it only takes you 45 minutes. Literally, as soon as you get up in the air, you're on the way back down. And you get a really good view of Fuji-sama if you're traveling in daylight. And it's a clear day. It's a really good sight, actually. So, fortunately for me, I managed to do that on the way back. Still kicking myself about the $150, but you live with it. So now I'm back in Tokyo. I'm back in my hotel. I have just completed my second day of training. The first day was mainly administration, just going over the contracts, your do's and don'ts as an ALT, and going over, your checklists, whether you've got this, you've got that, you've got this, you've got that, stuff like that. Your feedback from previous ALTs, what's good, what's bad, your do's and don'ts pretty much. Today was full on, and I actually quite liked it because it wasn't really as deadpan as yesterday. Yesterday was a little bit tired because we were just sitting down for about 8 hours. Today was more interactive. Today we practiced our Jiko Shokai, which is our self-introduction, both in Japanese and English. Japanese for the Board of Education and English for our students. I will do a Jiko Shokai in another video, and both in English and Japanese. But for now, I wanted to focus on your key items of importance. Now, when you move to Japan to live or to work, you need a few key items, one of which, the most important one, is this. There you go. That is a Zaidu card, or a residence card. Some of you might have researched a alien registration certificate that has been phased out. It has since been replaced with this, so when you come over to Japan, on either a working holiday maker permit or a working permit, sponsored permit, you will be given one of these at immigration. It will have your name at the top. It will have your status of residence on the bottom. It could either, if you're on a working permit, it will say your profession. It will say educator. It will say engineer. It could have entertainer. A variety of things. On the back, it will have your address if you've listed one. If you don't, it'll be blank. Mine has a temporary address which I got from the rental agency. I'll get into that later. Now, once you get your Zaidu card, you have access to this. This is your bank. This is what it looks like on the inside. Normally it'll have stuff written in it once you've been living in Japan for a month or two. Mine is still fresh because I only got mine on the Tuesday, so it is quite empty. This is only a bank book. You don't get your ATM card for another 10 days. Now there's a bucket load of banks to choose from. I went with JP Bank, which is, I've been told, is the largest bank in Japan. It's run by the post office, hence why it's probably the largest bank in Japan. but there are multiple banks. There's the Shinsei Bank, which is very famous for international people. There is the Mitsubishi Bank and UFJ Bank. I'm not entirely sure, but there's a few more. But the most popular ones are the ones I've just listed. One thing to note about banks in Japan is that you cannot transfer money from your local bank. Say in my case, the JP Bank, I cannot transfer money from there to my Australian bank account. At least for the 6 months. For the first 6 months of you signed up on a local bank account, it is in every essence of the word, local. Once 6 months have transpired, then yes, you can transfer money to a foreign account for a fee, of course. Everything has fees. The only difference between banks are either like interest rates, transfer fees, withdrawal rates, stuff like that. With JB Bank, it allows me to withdraw money from any 7-Eleven free of charge and any other ATM for a very, very small fee. Now, in order to sign up for a bank account, you need your residence card. You need a you need your hanko. Hanko is a small wooden stamp you can get from any 100 yen store, or you can have one made up for you from the travel agency. This is very important. You need this for almost every official document. Obviously you don't need it for this, but you will need it to sign up for your bank accounts. You will need it to sign your rental agreements. Pretty much everything you sign up for, you'll probably need it. The reason why is it is the same as initializing your name. It is there to identify yourself and for you to acknowledge that you have seen the document. You've signed it, obviously, but they require a further point of verification, the hanko. It's somewhat similar to, say, writing a checkbook. If you make a mistake, you have to initialize it to make sure you've acknowledged that you've made a mistake and you've corrected it. In this case, you pretty much do it even if you don't make a mistake. So once you've gotten your hanko and your Zaidu card, you can set one of these up, and then from there you can either get a contracted phone. I don't have a phone yet. I'll get one on Saturday, but in my case, I won't be getting a phone on a contract. I'll just be getting a really, really cheap prepaid phone. The reason why is because I plan on using my Australian phone. I plan on using my Australian phone more often than not, and the only reason I'm going to be using a prepaid phone is just to call in and out. I have a Wi-Fi router, so my phone's just fine as it is, and data roaming doesn't really cost that much for me. Now, once those are done, the next item of importance, but not really required, is one of these. This is called a Suica card. Basically, if you come from Australia, it's the equivalent of a Smart Rider. I'm not entirely sure what the equivalent of it would be in other countries, but for us it is a multi-pass, transportation multi-pass, that allows me to commute via different modes of transport, except taxi, of course, for a discounted fare. So the Suica card will cost you 1,000 yen. In Australian dollars, it'll probably be about $11-12. The actual card costs you 500 yen with 500 on top as a base charge. 500 yen really isn't much to cover you multiple ways, but it gets you enough. Now, say in my case, I'm in Chuo at the moment, so my nearest station is Konan-ku, and I want to get to Akihabara Electric Town, which is one stop away. It will cost me 170 yen with the Sweet card, it will cost me 110 yen. Sweeter card. I'm so lame. So if you're doing multiple commutes, the Sweet card is very, very handy. So I would highly suggest you getting one. So those are your items of key importance. Now, going back to the rental agreement, going back to your address, when you move address, you will need to go to your local city ward. In my case, it is Shinjuku, because I'm currently staying here, and I will need to fill out oh, I am so tired right now. You'll have to fill out a moving out card, moving out sheet, to state that you're leaving the current residence, you're leaving the current city, which is Shinjuku, and I will take the new documentation to Yokohama, where I'll be filling out a new one to state that I've moved from Shinjuku and I'm moving to Yokohama. Unfortunately, you have to know a little bit of Japanese, because the city wards don't really speak a lot of English. If you have any friends that are Japanese, take them along with you. If not, be very slow with your English. A lot of it requires kanji and katakana, but I mean, in some cases you can still do romaji. But please, if you have some sort of Japanese ability, use it. If you have any Japanese friends, bring them. If not, you know, you can get by with you can get by with English. Just be very, very precise, very concise, and be very kind, because you know, not a lot of them know a lot of English. But other than that, that's it for this video. If I've missed anything out, please let me know. Send me an email, leave a comment down below, or until then, I'll make another video of a Jiko Shokai, and hopefully you like it. If not, I don't care. I'm just joking. Every bit of feedback's great. Till then, それじゃまた後で。